Hello everybody. In this video, I'm going to introduce you for the technical writing course. So I'm going to show you 3 slides. The first one is an introduction for technical writing. We're going to see a definition for technical writing, the purposes for writing such documents, and the techniques that people follow while they are writing documents in technical writing. And the second one, the second file will be about the topics to cover through this semester. And the last one, it will be about the format, how to format a page while you are making a document or while you are writing a document. So let's start. So we will start by an introduction. It's necessary to know what is meant by technical writing at the beginning. So it is said that it is the language used to write technical documents. For example, instructions written on a machine catalog, emails, reports, memos, steps to assemble a machine part, and so many others. Advertisements that we see on the streets are also technical writing documents. Beside, we have the resume and cover letters, statements of purposes, and so on. So once we say technical writing, it means that I am making a document, and this document is formal, that is acquired to apply for a scholarship, for example, or to ask for a job before going to the next step, which is the interview. So once you decide to look for a scholarship or to look for a job, so the first step that you have to make is to create an email. And after making an email, you have to attach some documents like your CV or resume, SOP, recommendation letters if it is required. Sometimes they ask you to include some certificates and so on. So in this course, inshallah, we are going to cover most of these documents, the way we write them and the way we introduce them or upload them with our emails. Now, the purpose of technical writing, I am making such documents either to inform, to instruct, or to persuade. So to inform, such as when I am making a memo or a CV or a report or a resume, for example. So to inform means to let you know about something. So I need you to know about my personal information in CV. I need you to know about my qualifications, the certificates I have. In reports, I will let you know about, for example, a month report about the job or about the project. So I will insert you with some tables, documents, instructions, numbers, statistics inside this report. So technical writing purposes to inform the others or to inform the people of some data or some information. The second purpose is to instruct. So once we say to instruct, like for example, when we say steps to assemble machine parts or instructions of using a medicine. Okay, so to instruct means that I am making a document or I am making a technical writing document, okay, just to let you know how to behave with this machine, how to assemble its parts. Like when we buy, for example, a table, and this table is put inside a box, the parts of this table will be many. It is not like fixed. So I will need a catalog or I will need the steps to assemble this table. Similar to the instructions using for a medicine. This is the first time I use this medicine, so I need to know the side effects, for example, for this medicine, or how to use this medicine before eating or after eating. in the early morning or before going to sleep. So all of these instructions, all of these steps will be kind of how to instruct the others by these technical writing documents. The last one, the last purpose for technical writing is to persuade the others. Once I say persuade, it means that you are not persuaded by something and I need you to believe. This is the meaning of persuade, to believe in something. So sometimes we say, as it is written here, that an example for this purpose is to have motivation letters, statement of purpose, advertisements, and so on. So sometimes when students apply for a scholarship, one of the documents required to upload is called a recommendation letter or motivation letter. That is simply they ask you to include a paper written by your professors or written by your previous job top management, just to let them know how they see you, how they see your efforts, how they see your activities. So once we say to persuade, it means that I am going to let you believe in something or in somebody. The most important example that we have nowadays, especially for students who apply for scholarships, we have statement of purpose, and this will be a class that will be covered once a day through the semester, and the advertisements. All advertisements we see on social media websites or on streets, like on paper or on to show them on the streets. All of them try to persuade the customers, let's say the advertisements, they try to persuade the customers of a product or of a service. So technical writing documents will purpose or will aim to inform you of something or to instruct you, to help you to do something or to persuade you of something or someone. We will move now to the last section of this page, which is the techniques for writing a document in technical writing. The first technique that I have to look at is the language. Then I have to look at the audience, then the way of a presentation, the visual aids, and the last one, and the most important one, is the format. Okay, for now, we will start with the language. So for the language of my documents in technical writing, it must be objective, concise, and unambiguous. It is so important in technical writing documents to write in a clear language that is understood by all types of people, especially if I am making a catalog or if I'm making instructions for a medicine. These instructions must be understood by all kinds of people, because the patient could be a child, could be a man, could be a woman, could be educated person, or could be uneducated person. So it's not polite, let's say, to write something in technical writing documents, to write them in ambiguous language. Ambiguous means that is not clear. Concise, it means that I have to be to the point. I don't have to include so many details about something. I have to make my audience reach the point in a fast way. And objective, I don't have to be with this side or with that side. I have to be objective. I have to be in the middle, and so on. So as it's written here regarding the language, I don't have to use idioms because idioms need somebody who is professional in the second language or even in the first language. Sometimes idioms are not understood by all kinds of people. Or ambiguous expressions, like those used in literature or in, for example, in poetry and short stories. I don't have to use any of these expressions because I am trying to let my audience reach the point that I need. The second technique that I have to take care of is the audience needs. What is written must satisfy the whole kinds of audience. If I am writing instructions for a medicine, I have to make something satisfied. So any question that may come to the mind of the customers must be answered in this catalog or in these instructions. When I'm writing my resume or when I'm writing my CV, I don't have to make them less details, but I have to cover the whole details needed by the top management, for example, or by the company or by the university I am applying to. So this is a side of the purpose or of the technique, sorry. The second part regarding the audience, I have to put in my mind who is going to read my document. Is it a child or an adult? So if I am making an advertisement for a child, for children, I mean, so I have to look for the most important strategies that will capture the attention of children. So I have to use colors, pictures, and so on. But if I'm dealing with educated person, so I have to go through some references, some books, and so on. But if I am dealing with, for example, women, so I have to deal with women to satisfy their needs rather than with men, and so on. The third technique, I have to present in a dramatic way. This is so important because I am not writing for a lecture, for example, or not in school. So I have to say what I want to present, then I have to present it. For example, in the instructions for using a medicine, so all titles must be clear. For example, the title is side effects, and then I will say what side effects are. Then I have to say how to use. Then I have to say the instructions for the usage, and so and so. So present in a dramatic way. So we have to say what you want to present, then present it. For example, in this report, I will show you the revenue for something. Then I have to say the revenue. Okay. Now the fourth technique is visual aids. Now the visual aids means I have to make the presentation easier for my audience. So because for example, my presentation consists of many numbers or statistics, or it needs me to show you some pictures, and so I have to include some visual aids like graphs, tables, drawings. This make the presentation easier and clearer. The fifth technique, and this technique actually has another file or a specific file. We have to look for some specific details and formats. Now, while I am writing something, a documented, so I have to take care of my format. I have to get the whole features of typing. I have to look at the font. I have to be careful by using the font type, font size, the editings, the design, the numbering, and so and so. Actually, there will be another file. I will discuss the format in details about it. I will form the whole details about format. This will be the next. Okay, so we move now to the second file, which is titled as format. This is so important actually to cover and to handle before going through writing any technical writing document. So here are the most important features in Microsoft Word you will need to format your text when you start writing technical writing documents like emails. Actually, this is important while you are working with Microsoft Word, and then I'll tell you how to make this Word file as PDF, because all documents must be uploaded as PDF files. So this format will include page parts, white space, text features, and that's it. Okay, let's go ahead with the first one, which is page parts. Now, when we say page parts, it includes headers, footers, margins, and page numbering. Actually, there is another video that shows you how to handle all of these formats. how to make the headers, how to make the footers, how to make the margins and the page numbers. Okay, so we will start by the headers. Now for the headers, it means the top side of the page. It can include major information like titles or page numbers. Now suppose that this is a Word file that I have. Now the title is format. This is the header of my page. Okay, it can include the titles, or sometimes here in this space it can include, or in this space it can include the number of the page. So for the headers, it is the top side of the page that includes major information that I need my audience to look at first. So it could be titles, or sometimes people, especially for the formal documents, include here on the left side something important like the date of the document or the number of the document, like in the government documents we have. Then we have the footers. The footers means the bottom side of the page, okay, that comes by the end of the page. It includes minor information like the quotations and the page numbers. I will tell you how. So suppose that this is the Word file. So by the end of this Word file, okay, this is the end of this page. Here, I can include in this space either the number of the page, or in this side, or I have to have a line here. Then I have to include sometimes reference or quotation, or something that is minor. This is not so important, but it is minor. Okay. Then we have the margins. In the next video, there will be a discussion about how to make the margins and what is the standard for the margins and technical writing documents. Okay, so for the margins, it means the white space on the four sides of the page, top, bottom, left, and right sides. Okay, so for the margins, as you see here, so this is my Word file. Now all of this white space, and here I'm in the top, on the right side, and on the left side, and by the end of the page, which is here, all of these spaces, the white spaces, is called, or are called, margins. Okay, so it includes, as I've told you, it includes the white space, okay, the empty space in the page. So this is the meaning of margins. Here I'll tell you something regarding the standards that I have to have. The last one regarding the page part is the page number. It can appear on one of the margin positions depending on the text language. So it could be on the top of the page, or in the bottom, on the right margin, or in the left margin. It depends on the language I'm writing in. So for example, if I am writing in English, so it's good to have the page number here on the right side, since it is easier for my audience to look for the page number while they are following the pages in an easy way. Sometimes it is put here in the middle part by the end of the page. Well, sometimes it could be written here on the left side, but here it needs me to write in Arabic. If the language of the file is Arabic, so it's good to make the page number on the left side. So this is regarding the page part. Again, it includes headers, footers, margins, and the page number. Just to remind you of something, that is, all of these details are discussed deeply, and how to make them in the next video. Okay, now the white space, let's see, this is a part of the format, of course. Once we say white space, it includes the margins that is mentioned before, the indentations, line spacing, and paragraph spacing. Okay. For the margins, now the default for the margins I mentioned before, the default size is 1 inch in all sides. So 1 inch in the top and 1 inch on the both sides, and 1 inch by the ends of the page. And this is this size is default. It could happen automatically once you are starting writing or typing on Word file. Indentation means the space left at the beginning of the first line of each paragraph. The default size that is required is 1/2 inch, like one word at the beginning of a paragraph. Like when we say something like this, suppose that we have this this text. So if you go there, for example, here, I have to leave a space at the beginning of this paragraph. This space is called indentation, and the default size for it is 1/2 inch. Okay. The third one is line spacing. It means the spaces between lines, or the space left between lines. Suppose that I am making a text, so like this one. So I have to decide the size of the space left between these lines, and the default one, as it's written here, yeah, the size depending on the font size, of course, and the font type. It could be made by 1 inch or 1.5 inch, but not more than this. The default is 1.5. If the font size is too much, like it's more than, for example, 20 or 22, so it needs you to have more than 1.5 inch, I mean the space between the lines. The last one is paragraph spacing. The space between the paragraphs, it is decided depending on the spaces between the lines. If the space between the lines is default 1.5 inch, so so it could be made by 6 pt or 12 pt. يعني it could be default by this one. Like when we have this text, as you see here, this text is not written in a good way. So I have to leave this space. So this is the first paragraph. This is the space I have to leave. And this is the next paragraph. And here I have to leave the same space. So the spaces between the paragraphs must be the same if I am writing an essay, for example, or a report or something like that. The last point that I have to discuss in this file is text features. Text features include font type, font size, justifications, and highlighting. So once I say font type, the style of the type, it can be formal or informal, but once I'm making a document in technical writing, so I have to choose the formal one, the formal font type. Like Times New Roman, this is a formal one. Informal one like the Blackadder, but it is not applicable in technical writing documents. So try not to use this one. Try not to use it in your documents. The font size, the height of the letter. This is the meaning of font size. The default is 12. And for the titles is 16. Sometimes some people make it 14 depending on the submission required by some papers. Sometimes you will need to make a paper to publish, so they will need you, or they will ask you to make the font size with 14 or 12. It depends, sometimes with 10, but for the default one is 12. The justifications, it means to move the text to left side or to the right side or to the middle side. It could be, it could happen easily. Highlighting, it can be made by colors or one of the three highlighters that we have, which is bold, italics, and underlined. So I'll tell you just an example. Suppose that I want to make a highlight. So simply I will make this, and I will choose bold, italic, underlined. Here I can make a shadow for the color. Here I can choose a font color. And if I need to copy the editings or the features of my text, so simply you can make this to highlight the word, and you go to this icon Okay, and then you can highlight another word or another text, so both will be the same features. So yes, the last file I'm going to tell you about is the topics to cover through this course. We will see some information and details about how to make an email, and it is so necessary to have your email account either on Gmail or on Yahoo. On the next videos, I'm going to tell you about so many secrets for making an email and the options inside an email. How to make a cover letter, how to make a CV and resume, how to deal with the visual aids, how to create a visual aid, or how to discuss a visual aid in a paragraph. SOP, statement of purpose, and beside that, we have to make recommendation letter or motivation letter. Instructions, how to make instructions for a catalog or for making or using a product, how to make an online survey. This will be another topic. How to make an interview, how to ask, how to answer, what answers I have to avoid, what questions I have to avoid, what body language or body movements I have to apply while I am in an interview, and how to make a proposal, what is the meaning of proposal, and the last one is how to outline a text, how to summarize the text, and how to paraphrase a text. This is the end of this video. I will see you next time. Goodbye.